Hey, this is Dr. Bob Roush at EnergyDrivenLeader.com. In my last video, I started talking to you about my 8 steps that I use when I work with leaders. I want to continue with that first step because I think it's so important, and that is we have to know our strengths, we have to know our gift, we have to know our talents, but more importantly, we have to know our why for what we do. Defining your why is the most important thing that you can do as a leader. It's the source of our energy. It shows the intensity of our passion and our desire. It helps us deal with stress. It also helps us in terms of selecting a team and working with a team. Now I'm going to give you 2 examples from Start With Why by Simon Sinek. His book, Start With Why. Powerful book, and I'm going to give you 2 examples from that book. The first is a gentleman named Samuel Pierpont Langley. Mr. Langley wanted to be the first person to pilot an aircraft. He was a very bright guy. He pulled together the brightest minds he could find. He had $50,000 from the War Department to develop this airplane, and he had a group of reporters following him around to keep track of his progress. On the other side of the country were these 2 guys, Wilbur and Orville Wright. They had no money. They had no education or very little education. They had bicycle parts that put this airplane together. But what they did have is they had desire. They had a passion. They could inspire people. They knew their why, and they started with their why. The second example of why in a leader is Dr. Martin Luther King. In August of 1963, Dr. King gave his speech, "I Have a Dream," to 250,000 people in our nation's capital. And it wasn't, the speech wasn't, "I have a plan." The speech was, "I have a dream." And it wasn't just for the good of a minority, but it was for the good of all people. We have to know our why. So in the content on this video, I want you to further define or to begin to define your why, your purpose for what you do. This is Dr. Bob Roush at EnergyDrivenLeader.com.